This is Andy Purewal for ID Boxing. I'm joined by promoter Dmitry Salita here in London. Dmitry, how are you? It's always good to see you.
Great. Arrived in the UK today. Love the UK. Love the boxing culture here. Although in the morning it was rainy and grey, but now the sun is out. We had a great turnout here for the press workout. Looking forward to Saturday night.
It's a huge fight for your man Jermaine Franklin on Saturday night, faces Dillian Whyte. I asked Eddie Hearn earlier, did he feel like maybe Jermaine's been overlooked by the British fans because he might not be well known over here, but he's better known in the US. Do you feel like that yourself?
Definitely. He's definitely overlooked. Most importantly, he's overlooked by Dillian Whyte. And that is going to play into the hands of Jermaine Franklin, who's very well prepared for this fight. Spent about 5 weeks in camp with Tyson Fury. Been here, got acclimated to the time difference, to the weather, to the people. So Jermaine is very focused, and it's his fight to win on Saturday night.
What does he have to do to be successful on Saturday night?
He has to get past the first 3 rounds, and he has to be able to handle Dillian's power and return punches and bunches. Dillian's punch resistancy after the third round goes down, and he gets sloppy. His punching technique gets sloppy. He gets tired. He gets winded, and I believe that getting knocked out twice in his last 3 fights, brutally knocked out, has to have an effect on you, and his punch resistance overall has to go down. Jermaine is hungry. I believe that his will to win on the day of the fight is going to be bigger than Dillian's, and that's going to be tested. So I know that from my own experience, when you go into a fight and you think it's easy, and then it gets tough, it's very hard to change your mind in round 2 or 3. Dillian changed trainers. He had Harold Shadow Knight, who was a great boxing teacher. Now he has Buddy McGirt. What can you learn in 2 months? It can only confuse you. And Jermaine has been with the same trainer, Jesse Addison. Come, Jesse. He's here. Who's been with Jermaine since his amateur career. You know, to me, the best boxing trainers are the ones that can take a kid from the streets, teach him the boxing stance, teach him the basics, and then make him national champions and successful pros. And that's what Jesse has done with Jermaine and with many other fighters, his son Lorenzo, and a whole array of others. So we have a great team, and we're here to score the upset in front of 20,000 British fans.
Coach, talk to me. What do you have to do to score that upset?
Well, we got to go in and we got to work on what we practice on. We worked on coming in here and we worked on destroying Dillian Whyte. Jermaine got the capability to do it. He got the power to do it. He got the determination to do it. And most of all, he want to do it. So, hey, we came in here to take care of business. You don't win a fight on decision. So we're not looking for a decision. We're going to take the judges out of it. And we're going to be the judge of this fight. We're going to take Dillian Whyte out. That's what we come here for. We've been training early mornings, middle evenings, late nights. We ready for this.
You're coming over as the away fighter. Do you have any concerns if it was to go to the cards, if you felt you did enough to win but the judges don't rule in your favour?
That's why we're taking the judges out of it. You know, we're not dependent on the judges. The judges can see things any way that they want to see it. So you have learned that in history before where people have won fights, fighters have won fights, and a judge would give it to somebody else. So we smart enough to know that already. So we come over here to knock Dillian Whyte out, to put him on his ass.
And that's the old school boxing approach that Jesse said. When you go on national tournaments and when you go to somebody's hometown, you take it out of the judges' hands. And Jermaine has trained for the knockout, and I believe that somewhere between the 5th and the 10th round, that's what I believe, that wish and that prediction is going to come true.
Dmitry, as his promoter, talked to him about the future. Obviously, the Anthony Joshua fight's been spoken about for Jermaine. If he's successful on Saturday night, is it easy to look too far ahead in this case because of how life-changing Saturday could be for him?
Well, it's not for me. I can look forward, backwards, side to side. The person that has to stay focused is Jermaine and his team, and they're staying very focused. They spent 5 weeks here in camp. My job is to look forward. My job is to speak with Eddie, to speak with different broadcasters and exclusive promoters to see what best deal I can make for Jermaine. So that is my job. So I do look forward and side to side, because that's what I'm here to do. But as a team, we're focused on Saturday night because we know that is going to lead to greater pastures, to the promised land, and Jermaine, I believe, is going to deliver on Saturday night.
Dmitry, just sticking with the heavyweight division, I'm due to catch up with another one of yours, Otto Wallin, within a couple of hours' time. I know in the past when we spoke that his name was being mentioned for the Anthony Joshua fight itself. I know Eddie Hearn was here today. Have you guys had any words exchanged there?
We had. Eddie told me, as of now, the running is Otto Wallin or the winner of this fight. So depends on how it goes. I feel a little conflicted because I represent both Jermaine and Otto. So both guys won the fight, and really it's out of my hands because both guys will make a deal for the fight to happen. It's obviously up to Anthony Joshua and his team to accept what they feel is the best fight. Obviously, if Jermaine wins, I believe he's going to be at the lead of the heavyweight division. He doesn't have to rush. I believe that he can make the biggest and the best fights, and he's going to solidify himself as an elite, top-rated heavyweight. Otto Wallin gave Tyson Fury the toughest fight of his career, landing more punches than anyone ever before. Some felt that he won, some felt the fight should have been stopped. So there's stories to kind of both fights, but we'll see what happens on Saturday night. And what's meant to be will be, and the right guy is going to get the fight, but the one that's not going to get the fight is going to get another big opportunity. There's no doubt about it.
How swiftly after Saturday night then, say if Jermaine is successful or if it's Dillian who's successful, do you expect a resolution to come to the fore about who Anthony Joshua will fight next, whether it be Otto Wallin, Dillian or Jermaine?
Well, yeah, I believe within a week, but I think that from their side, it's all going to be about the money. It's going to be about how much they have to pay the opponent, whether it's Jermaine or Dillian Whyte or Otto. We generally spoke about the numbers for Otto, and we kind of have a deal in place, almost, very close to it. So it really, as in most big fights that we see with Crawford and Spence, in making those big fights, what the fighters want to get paid is a big part of it. So I don't know what Dillian Whyte is going to want to get paid, but he's not a question because Jermaine Franklin is going to be the winner. But I don't know what Jermaine wants to get paid, and it's no time for me to discuss it with him. We're just taking one step at a time. Once you win, doors open up and opportunities open up. And that's what we plan to do on Saturday night. And I'm sure that there'll be an array of opportunities for Jermaine. Big-time fights, big money fights. He has to win on Saturday night, and that's what we're all looking forward to do together as a team.
Just to stick on something with Otto, you said there that a deal's effectively agreed for him to step in with AJ, who's also going to have to talk with Dillian or Jermaine, whoever wins on Saturday. But is that basically deals agreed to the point you just need to sign, or it's down to AJ to sign, whether it be Otto or agrees terms elsewhere?
Not that close, but we're very close to what Otto would agree on and what the other side would agree on. So so I think that from what I understand, I believe that Otto is on top of Joshua's list as a possible opponent, and I believe that he's also looking closely at this fight as well.
Just one of your fighters I want to get a catch up on is Claressa Shields. A lot of talk about what's next for her after her undisputed victory against Savannah Marshall recently. Natasha Jonas has been calling for that fight. Do you think we'll see her move back down to 144 and face Natasha?
Yes, we'd love to make the big and best fights for Claressa. Everyone here today asked me about that fight with Natasha Jones, something that we're interested in. Terry Harper. I also believe that for Claressa to fight in uncharted territories like Africa and the Middle East will be very significant of what she's done and where she's come from. Jesse is from Saginaw, Michigan, which is neighboring Flint, Michigan. He's seen Claressa come up to the amateur ranks, and we're all one big family in terms of our boxing sorority. And those boxing cities are very tough, and they produce the best fighters that we've seen. Jermaine, Claressa, Floyd Mayweather, Kronk Boxing Gym. Michigan is a state of rich boxing history that keeps producing national champions. I think Jesse just had a national champion.
Yes, Robert Sims.
Robert Sims and some other amateur kids that are coming up through the system. So I've veered off a little bit off of Claressa. But yeah, we're going to make a big fight for Claressa, working on some possibilities. I believe early next year we'll have some news to share with the public. But what Claressa has done versus Savannah Marshall in front of 20,000 fans that initially were against her, but after the fight, loved her and supported her, was really incredible. A historic event, a Muhammad Ali-like performance in somebody's hometown. I don't know a fighter in their peak that went across the sea to fight their rival in their rival's country. I don't know. I follow the sport of boxing very closely since since many decades ago, and I don't know of any American fighter that has done it. So Clarissa's setting on new territory, fought on every broadcaster. Showtime was the first to show her and has been with her for a significant part of her career. We're very grateful for it. She's fought on DAZN. She's fought on HBO. Last show of HBO's boxing history was with Clarissa Shields. She's fought on ESPN. So that's what boxing has to be. It has to be inclusive, not exclusive. Boxers and boxing fans have to be exposed to the best fights. And we as promoters have to work with everybody to make sure that we give the biggest opportunities to our fighters and the boxing fans get the biggest and the best fights.
Right, Dmitry, we'll leave that there now. I'll leave you guys to shoot off because I know the team's waiting for you to go. So thank you.
Everybody's hungry. Everybody wants to get some sleep. So get acclimated to this new time zone. But it's all good.
And speaking of the last national fighter out of Saginaw was Morris Young. And I believe he's like 4-0, 5-0, a very awesome fighter. We call him the attacker. When he get on his opponent, he don't get off of him. So you'll definitely be hearing a lot about Morris Young.
I look forward to that one, Coach, and we'll leave it there. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.